everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining your virtual drinking buddy here with, I don't know, I'm a little nervous to drink this. I'm not really sure what to say. I'm here with a finely crafted beer, Hippie Hole by Firehouse Brewing Company. Let's get all that beautiful can in there. The can looks awesome. The beer looks awesome. Let's see though. Hippie Hole is an Indian Pale Lager. So I'm sure you're all familiar with IPAs. I'm assuming this is very similar in that IPAs are made with extra hops so that they could withstand the trek from Britain to colonial India back in whenever Britain had colonized India, that back during the early 1900s probably. So my guess is that the main difference is the type of yeast that they use to produce this beer. A lager yeast ferments from the bottom up, whereas a ale ferments from the bottom or from the top down, if I remember correctly. And as I said, this was made by Firehouse Brewing Company in Rapid City, South Dakota. So no, I haven't been up there. It would have been great to have been up there, but no, my brother-in-law and his family went. And when he found out that I was making videos, he thought, oh, well, we were seeing these fire trucks and signs for this brewery the whole way along to Rapid City, so I'm going to stop in there and pick him up some beers to review. So thank you, brother-in-law Eric Ray. I appreciate it. Hope you don't mind me using your name in the video. And so he went in and said, hey, my brother-in-law's making these videos. What do you suggest? And so one of them was a seasonal beer called Hippie Hole. Let's get into the stats real quick. There's actually not a lot of information on it, but probably the most important facts when drinking beers like this is the alcohol content, which is 5.4% alcohol by volume. And then it has an IBU rating, so an International Bitterness Unit rating of 74. So that's on a scale of 100. And that's why I'm nervous to drink this beer, because it's gonna be bitter. Probably way more bitter than what I'm used to drinking these days. Now, I had gone through an IPA phase, I don't know, 10 years ago maybe, where that's pretty much all I wanted to drink. And then I just had too many of them, I guess, too many hops. And so I'd kind of gotten out of that, and I'm just not used to drinking a super hoppy beer. There's not a lot of other information. So far I've been lucky enough to see some information of what I can expect, what type of hops maybe were used, or what sort of flavors are expected. But this just says Hippie Hole Lager, IPL, 5.4% alcohol and 74 IBU. So I'm gonna stall this just a little bit longer because like I said, it's gonna be bitter, and I'm sure it's gonna be delicious. It's just more than what I'm used to. And it's a very hoppy beer like this is kind of an acquired taste. So back to the dragging it out. So in addition to the beers that my brother-in-law got for me, they're like, hey, take this stuff too. Just some fun stuff. So little round sticker here. Awesome. And this is actually a coaster. Actually, it's perfect for Das Boot. So that's neat. But what makes this really fun is that it's also a postcard. Get a place for your stamp, you write your information, where you're sending it from, and it says here, thirsty he set it to his lips, and as its cool refreshment began to soothe his throat, he thanked heaven that in a world of much evil, there was still a good let me try that last part again. He thanked heaven that in a world of much evil, there was still so good a thing as ale. Apparently, this is a quote of Raphael Sabatini from Fortune's Fool. I'm not much of a reader, so I'm not familiar with that. I can only assume that it's a book quote. But super cool, right? They give you this fun little coaster, and then if you're not too inebriated, you slap a stamp on, scroll "I was here," and into the mail. Send it off to somebody, and then you continue on with your vacation. All right, so probably stalled this long enough. Don't laugh at me too hard if I make some funny faces, because like I said, haven't drank anything this hoppy in a while. As soon as I cracked the can open, I could smell the hops, so I knew that I was in for it. I'm sure it's gonna be good. It looks delicious. Just don't laugh at me. Or laugh at me, I guess. I don't know. I guess I can't really stop you, can I? All right, so here's my first drink of Hippie Hole. Woo! Oh, that is hoppy. And like I said, I don't drink a lot of hoppy beers anymore, so my palate's not used to this, and it's also not refined anymore. I used to be able to distinguish between some hop variances, not a lot, not like I was some sort of like world-class beer taster or anything, but yeah, I really can't tell anything other than it's very hoppy. It has a real like rich, like flowery taste almost. I don't know how many people know this. I'd heard this on a brewery tour at a different brewery, but they had said on that tour that the hop plant is a cousin of the hemp plant. So honestly, it does kind of taste like that smoke in the air at most concerts, if you're not familiar with what I'm referring to, but kind of what it tastes like. I mean, not to that extreme extent. It's not skunky. It's got more of an earthy floral tone, I guess, is where I'm going with that. It is very strong. It's probably not something that I'll get whenever I get around to going to Firehouse Brewing. I do have 2 more beers from there, so look for those in future videos. Again, here's the brochure they sent. It's downtown Rapid City. It looks like the address is 610 Main Street. Fun fact, it is actually in an old firehouse. So this place was founded in 1991 in Rapid City in an old firehouse. The firehouse is over 100 years old, I think. It was built in 1915, so yeah, it's 105 years old. The brewery itself started there in 1991, I believe, and they have food. I looked on their website. They've got some buffalo steaks and burgers and just all sorts of really amazing looking foods, a good assortment of beers, and I can't wait until I can get there. It sounds like they advertise very well too. It sounded like the impression that I got is like every so many miles there was a fire truck sitting on the side of the road with a sign saying something about going to Firehouse Brewing Company. So hopefully next year we can make the trip with them and I can see what the place is like in person. Until then, I'm the Malted Gentleman reminding you, you only have one liver, so use it wisely.